Tropical Storm Bavi is steadily intensifying. The Japan Meteorological Agency has named Tropical Storm Bavi. It is currently located at 11.7 degrees north and 159.0 degrees east. As we see on the latest satellite frames, it has been building up this CDO with quite a lot of strength to come. Currently, as of July 2nd, 2026, the storm had winds of 60 miles per hour and a pressure of 994 millibars. It has no warnings in effect at the moment. Currently moving west-northwest at 14 miles per hour, and we've given it a code orange on the 413 T-Coast stage. As for the wind fields then, it stretched about 140 nautical miles to the northeast, 55 miles to the southeast, 60 miles to the southwest, and 110 nautical miles to the northwest. Noticeably, all the wind fields are stronger in the northern quadrant because of all the bandings to the north. But the storm is currently 345 miles from Pohnpei, 553 miles from Chuuk, 892 from Saipan, 918 from Anatahan, and 940 from the island of Guam. These will be quite relevant for the next few days coming up as the storm will pass through the Northern Mariana Islands. The islands of Saipan and Tinian had already felt the strength of Typhoon Sinlaku passing through, and a possible storm of maybe Category 4 or Category 5 strength could pass through again, as they're still recovering from those damages that happened with a lot of houses that were wrecked, obviously power outages and everything. And the JTOC forecast sees it pretty much passing through Saipan and Tinian as a Category 4. It will start rapidly intensifying as per their forecast. You can see they're hopping from Category 1 up to Category 3 already until it reaches Category 4 status, maybe in Category 5 in the later part of its life. Looking at the strength, and as every agency has given their numbers, 413 is falling in line with JTWC at 60 miles per hour, with the ADTs being more or less on the stronger end at 65 miles per hour. Alongside that, you have somewhat weaker number from the JMA and CMA, although albeit these are quite older numbers, but still at around 40 and 50 miles per hour. Sea surface temperatures pretty much favorable for this storm, are currently at about 20 to 29 degrees Celsius, with only warmer waters and ocean heat content ahead of it, so there's nothing really stopping the storm at all. And this can be reflected on the multi-model diagnostics, which sees the storm, well, just continue intensifying. This complete consensus of the storm intensifying with no real trajectory towards a weaker storm. There's no actual obstacle for the storm to weaken. And we can see that once we look at the shear, with only the ECMWF being kind of the outlier here, showing a little peaks of shear here and there, but overall the shear will remain relatively low to the point where the storm can just intensify and blossom in the Western Pacific with no real obstacles. And obviously the track forecast, it's pretty equal, taking it through the Northern Mariana Islands. Sea surface temperatures, as I've already said, will remain very, very favorable, as well as the mid-level relative humidity, which will really contribute to the storm. I wouldn't say exploding, but definitely intensifying to a large extent that it will be very dangerous to the Northern Mariana Islands. And so if you live in the Northern Mariana Islands, if anywhere between Guam or Anatahan, I would really recommend you to start your preparations right now, as the storm could be very dangerous. Obviously, we had Sinlaku already in the early part of the year, to really think about that and everything that can happen with it. Strong winds will be very prevalent in the storm, and please be careful.